Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 274 of the RRBG podcast. This podcast is a proud member of the Podbelly Network. Go to podbelly.com and check out all the amazing shows we have on our network, including the Sofa King podcast, Robots for Eyes, Art and Jacob Do America. I mean, there's one for everything that you're into. If you're into Magic the Gathering, they got you. If you're into the occult, they got you. You're into serial killers, they got you. Everything. Go to podbelly.com, check out the list, and support the network. This episode is also brought to you by Killcliff. My friends over at Killcliff make the best energy drink you can buy in the market today. Clean energy, none of that crap that they put in Monster or any of those Red Bulls. No sugar, just clean power for all the grind you're going to have to put in today. And if you're not grinding today and you just want to relax, they also have CBD drinks to help you recover from any injuries you may have, any kind of inflammation. Maybe you went a little too hard at the gym. CBD drink will get you right back on track. Go to their website, killcliff.com. Check out all their different flavors. My personal favorite Ignite drink is the Cherry Limeade. And in the CBD category, you have to try the Joe Rogan Special. It's the Flaming Joe Pineapple with Jalapeno. It's not that spicy. You just get a little bit of a kick at the end. It's delicious. Go to killcliff.com and tell them that RRBG sent you. This episode is also brought to you by our good friends at Saints Joints. Go to saintsjoints.com to check out all the options that they have. They have these amazing packages with pre-roll joints, which will have pre-rolls from either side of the strain spectrum, either indica or sativa, and they even have multi-strain collections. Pick up one of their amazing Book of Saints. They currently have 2 volumes, volume 2 being a special Halloween edition. It looks like the Necronomicon. It's amazing. They're currently available in Washington and Oregon and will soon be available in California. Go to saintsjoints.com and tell them that RRBG sent you. This episode is also brought to you by our friends at Thunderking Coffee. Thunder King provides organic, air-roasted coffee straight out of Costa Mesa, California. It's seriously some of the best coffee I've ever had. My personal favorite is the Positive Morning Attitude. I order 2 pounds of this almost every 2 weeks because I just can't get enough. But they also have bottled cold brew. They have their special California Christmas peppermint cold brew out right now. You can order it from their website. So go to thunderkingcoffee.com and check it out. Support small, independent businesses, people. What's up, everyone, and welcome to the RRBG podcast. In this episode, I talked to Dean Tompkins of Thunderking Coffee, Mammoth Thunderpower, and RDT3 Creative. Dean has been a huge supporter of the podcast pretty much since day one. We've been having them as a sponsor. They send us coffee. It's fantastic. Go to thunderkingcoffee.com and check them out. We talk a little bit about his band, Mammoth Thunderpower. They're writing some new music and hitting the road. We talked about Star Wars. We talked about his company, RDT3 Creative. They make Star Wars helmets and other props as well with their 3D printer. It's really awesome. It was great catching up with him. I hope you guys enjoy it. Like I said, make sure to check out thunderkingcoffee.com. Pick up some of their Positive Morning Attitude, which is my favorite. Support independent artists. Go check out the band, Mammoth Thunderpower. Click down here and the subscribe button. Hit the little bell, the little heart, all the little buttons down there that'll help us get on the algorithm. And check out our Patreon page where you can find exclusive content at patreon.com/RRBG. Cheers. Enjoying a hot cup of Thunder King coffee.
Look at that. Did you just get that?
I just made it right now.
Did they send you a mug?
No. I have this. I do have this, which is where I'm keeping the rest of my coffee.
Oh, rad. Yeah, but I gotta send you more. I have other mugs.
Sweet. Hold on.
We have other mugs.
Mugs. Yeah, I don't have a mug.
For your mug. For your
right.
mug.
So audio's recording. Did you get a message that the video's recording over there?
It said, yeah. It said recording.
Cool.
It said, got it.
Got it.
Got it. I love that. I can't believe I saw you the other night. And I was like, I was actually playing Pokemon Go on my phone.
Ooh.
And I was like, was that Eddie? was like, oh man, I never told him I was gonna go. And I was like, he never told me he was gonna go. I was like,
yeah. Yeah, I tend to do that. I've been scolded on it by my wife before, where I ask a question regarding something like that, but I don't specify like because I'm going. You know, I'm asking you because I'm going. You know what I mean?
But I should know, since we're both married, we should know how to read minds.
Oh, right, yes, of course. We
should
telepathic.
understand that, like, we should have known, man. I get it. I get it.
Well, I'm going to keep some of that in, but
that's fine.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the RRBG podcast. I'm here with the wizard killer himself, Mr. Dean Tompkins of Thunderking Coffee and Mammoth Thunder and RD3 Creative. Dude, you have too much going on. What are you doing?
I got a lot, man. I have a lot going on, and thanks for having me. This is really cool. I really appreciate this.
Absolutely.
I love listening to your show, so it's kind of fun.
Thanks, man. You've been supportive. You've been there since like day one almost, you know. It's been nuts. You've been keeping me alive with coffee for years.
I mean, sometimes that's all we can do is give you coffee, you know.
Well, I mean, this is a long time coming, us talking and talking on the show. You have a beer now, too, that's happening. Tell me about that real quick. I want to know more.
Thunderking Coffee as kind of our, like, history, right? Like, we have always wanted to run ourselves as a craft beer company. Mm-hmm. Like, we really respect that industry. We like that, like, people do collabs and all that stuff, and it's very inclusive, and we've always thought that was really cool. And so we've done a couple beers with people, you know, and in our city, around town, whatever. And so we kind of had stopped for a little bit because of the pandemic. It got a little wild. Things got a little slim, but we're back, and things are going really well. And so our friends at Gunwhale, which I think you call it Gunwhale, but also some people say Gunnel.
Really?
Which, I don't know, it sounds dumb to me. Gunwhale is a pretty cool thing because whales are cool and guns are cool.
A gun whale is, I see a giant whale with guns. I see a gun shaped like a whale. I mean,
this is what I'm saying. But anyways, they had reached out, and they do a thing where they do a collab with, you know, people in their city and their community. And so we were the next one. And I kind of said, I'm stoked on doing a beer. I just don't want to do a stout.
Right, because it's too predictable.
Man, coffee and stouts. And like, look, I like a coffee stout, but also like a 10-12% coffee stout. Like,
it's a lot. It's a lot, and you can't do it at a show or something because, you know.
No. So what the guys came up with there, and they're epic. Like, those, they know what they're talking about. They know their stuff. I'm not as much of a beer guy, but they are doing, it's a cream ale with coffee with cinnamon and vanilla, and it's like a 5% crushable beer. So we're very excited, and I think that comes out April 2nd.
Nice. You skipped the April 1st tomfoolery, which I hate. I shut off completely on April 1st. I turn off my phone. I'm like, nope, just why?
Well, but it's fun.
Everything I read is a lie.
I love it, man. I love all the stuff that happens, especially on the internet. It's wacky.
Yeah, for years I was a big fan of. There was this Game Informer. There's a video game magazine. We
get that.
Yeah, they would
get that.
I don't know if they still do it, but April 1st they would do Game Enforcer, and it would just be a bunch of fake articles of games that they wish would happen, which I thought was pretty cool.
We can use that. I'll take it. That's why we follow like the Hard Times and the Onion, right? All that stuff. It's hilarious, man. Like,
it gets a little weird when like you look at CNN and it looks like an Onion article, and then you're like, oh wait, what's happening?
It's maybe the last couple of years, maybe the last 6 years. Yeah, that's kind of been.
It's been rough. I'll tell you that.
Man.
It's been a rough ride, but you guys are killing it, man. I mean, honestly, I can't drink other coffee anymore. By the way, you've ruined that. I've gone to like other places, and I'm like, nah, nope.
You know, part of I didn't like coffee.
Really?
Yeah, so here's the deal. Like, I'm not a coffee guy. I'm not the coffee nerd that was like, I'm gonna do coffee my way.
Right.
I was basically like, hey, I love Red Bull and I love caffeine. How can I get more caffeine? And so I had learned about cold brew, and I was like, okay, because we started as just a cold brew company. We didn't roast beans or anything. We just got stuff, packaged it, made cold brew in my kitchen, shipped it out.
Okay.
But basically, I just wanted to make it smooth and really easy. And so once I had learned about air roasting and a different style of roasting and ways to make the bean a little smoother, that kind of made us what we are.
Okay.
And so, I'm not saying that's the other thing. We didn't want people to be like, oh, you need to have a water filtration system and this and that. And I'm like, no, man, you take my beans and you put them in your coffee machine that you already have, however you make coffee, and hopefully you'll like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's too much,
Yeah. A lot of times, like people, when you go out to get a cup of coffee, unless it's like a super high end crafty place,
right?
If you go to Starbucks, you're getting burnt water.
Right.
That's all. It tastes like cigarette ashes. Like it's just awful. And, I got a little bit of training through Modern Times, my time that I spent there.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They would wake me up at like 6 a.m. to like come in for cuppings and just fucking slurp different kinds of beans and like try to, and I'm just jacked by 6:30. I'm like running around the building in circles,
You're supposed to spit it out, man.
Nope.
I feel the same way with like wine tasting, where I'm like, why would I spit out this glorious juice?
Yeah, that's a waste. No,
it's a waste.
Yeah, beer tastings too. We would do when I was working in the beer thing. It was go to like 12 different accounts and show them our beers, which would require me tasting it with them, because otherwise, if I'm not drinking my own beer, it can't be good, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's true. That's actually very true. We, one of the first collaborations we did was with Barley Forge, when Barley Forge was around, because Kevin Buckley, he's a drummer, and we got along really well, and like it was just like, okay, we'll do it. So I just go visit him. It's less than a mile from my house, so I'd go over, visit like the end of my day. And then it would be like, oh, try this and try this and try this. And it was like, I have to walk home now, like, because I'm ripped from just visiting my friends at work. So I definitely I get what you're saying. That can be frustrating.
It's a bit much. And then, me with my lifestyle, I end up just like trying to balance all the chemicals. So it's like, I'll have a few beers and all right, let's have a bunch of coffee to wake up, because I got to keep going through the day. So you're going down and up. It's like a roller coaster.
Right. Well, that's, when we started this company, and we do the cuppings, we do all that stuff. We hired in Rob Wallace, who's a roaster. Basically, when it was time for us to roast our own beans, I was like, I don't know what is going on with that. And we had met Rob Wallace at a, what was that company? There was a brewery event that we were at. They were at Noble Ale Works.
Oh, okay.
We were there. It was one of their birthday parties.
Nice.
And me and Rob had another coffee company. We started talking about, I think, Jawbreaker and some other like bands that were more hardcore bands that we both liked. And I was like, oh, we speak the same geek,
Yeah.
And so I essentially hired him. And I said, hey, I want you to be the guy and teach us how to be a real coffee deal. So he did all those cuppings and things like that and taught us that stuff. So
very cool.
So we understand that. But yeah, it gets to the point where, we're grinding beans at work, hundreds of pounds at a time. If you breathe that in, you don't realize you are high as a kite.
Yeah. That's going. It does. It goes right into your bloodstream.
Yeah. So we definitely like these Apple Watches are silly, but they definitely tell me when like, hey, your heart's gonna explode. You should go take a walk outside. You're like, oh, maybe I should.
Yeah. I didn't think about that, man. Like, it's nuts, the dust and everything. Because isn't there a thing that people do where they snort caffeine? Is that is it snuff? Is that what I'm thinking?
Caffeine? Tobacco. Yeah, snuff is like it's a tobacco product, I think.
But it hypes you up, right?
Oh yeah. I think it's gnarly.
Jesus, man. I don't know. I can't. I have sensitive up all. I ruined it already when I was younger with the drugs. So
Fair enough.
Yeah, and even younger than that, when I was a little tiny kid, because I was a degenerate ever since I was born. I remember snorting a pixie stick once because I thought it was cool, and that nosebleed, like, oh, this
God,
is the worst.
That's so gnarly.
It's so stupid, the things, man. But talking about that, like when I was very, very little, my earliest memory is drinking coffee out of a bottle, out of a baby bottle. Yeah,
that's like some Cuban stuff, man.
Yeah, dude. My grandmother would give me coffee with milk. It was mostly milk, but it had coffee in it. Yeah. And then she would also she would clip the top of the nipple from the bottle, so I could just drink it faster.
So it's just like a gusher.
Yeah. And like, thanks, Grandma. Like now I'm addicted to coffee for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And living in Miami, you get those coladas, the super intense espresso shots that are like quadruples.
Does it have like the sugar sludge?
Oh yeah. So to make it, you get all the sugar and you put a couple drops. The first couple drops of the brew, supposedly, you're supposed to grab the first few drops from the brew and put them in the sugar and let the rest of the brew happen. And then you stir that into like a paste, like a sludgy thing. And then you pour the rest of the coffee and it gets all foamy and nice. But man, they give it to you in a cup with a bunch of tiny shot glasses or shot cups, I guess, plastic cups, to share with people. But I would just throw down the whole thing.
Dude, you're worse than me.
Yeah. It was bad. Nowadays, I'm slowing down. Now I just have I brew a pot of the Thunderking, the positive morning attitude.
Hey, you love that. I love that you love that.
It's my favorite. It's so nice, man. And this isn't like an ad. We're not doing this as an ad read or anything. No. I legit can't like function without it. If I don't wake up in the morning, I make like a 40-minute space to just brew it and grind the beans, do the whole thing with the Chemex and the...
Oh, you do that?
I'll do the whole thing, yeah.
Yeah, that's nice, man. I just have a kegerator in my kitchen.
Oh, with the cold brew? So
I just do a pint of cold brew in the morning.
Man, I had a kegerator when I was in the industry, but I had to get rid of it when we moved.
Oh, yeah. It takes up some space.
It stopped working.
Oh, really?
And like the repair was like $150. I'm like, nah, I'll just toss it.
I mean, at least they could repair it. Sometimes they can't. You just throw them away.
Yeah, I think the compressor, they were just going to fix the compressor, but I couldn't. At the time, I couldn't afford it, and also I just didn't really feel like I was getting a lot of use out of it. It was mostly holding bottles of beer, and like it had an empty space for where the keg was supposed to go, and I'm just like, I'll toss it.
Now I just have a storage. Right.
Yeah. So, but that's that. I mean, I would love to have a freaking. That would be too dangerous for me to have a keg of cold brew just chilling at the house.
I tell you what, you get real used to it, man. Just go take little rips here and there, and you fly high pretty much all day. So even when you don't want to.
Do you do anything? I mean, is your body naturally able to just go to sleep? Because I am actually. Like I could pass out no matter what. But a lot of people don't like coffee because it keeps them up and at night and jitters or whatever.
Yeah, that's it depends. Sometimes when I'm in the office, if I'm in the office all day and it's a big day of grinding, I'll definitely feel it at night. But you don't kind of notice it. You're just like, hey, I'm awake. Like, you're not jamming or anything, but you're like, oh, I'm up. And I just usually get some work done or something like that. But yeah.
So you're always busy because, I mean, you're running. It's always busy already to run a company, but on top of that, you're kicking the band off again. You said you had stuff going on. Tell me a little bit about that.
So we have a band called Mammoth Thunderpower, and we're just a heavy metal band. We have a good time, and we recorded years ago. Then we kind of just did our thing because I've got, I'm married. I have 2 kids. I've got Thunderking, which is a baby. I've got 2 other businesses that I kind of dabble in. But everybody kind of has come together and we're like, hey, look, like, we're kind of known around these parts in California as like hey, you need a 30-minute band that's going to put on a good, like, powerful, heavy metal show. Like, we're in. So that's why we get to open at Alex's and a lot of these bars where they're like, hey, we just need someone because they know we respect it and we're not going to be hey, we got one more song. Like none of that. Like, we do the job and we're out of there, and we'll bring people. So that's all going off again, and that's actually how we started. You know, Thunder King. Obviously, the name came from Mammoth Thunderpower.
Right.
I had told somebody I was going to name the coffee company Three Kings because I have two sons.
Nice.
I was like, oh, I like Three Kings. And they said, oh, that sounds good. That sounds like that's really Christian. And I was like,
oh yeah.
I can't do that. So I was like, how about Thunder King? And everyone's like, oh, that's terrible. And I was like, that's what I'm doing.
Good.
So thus, it kind of came from the band. So,
all right.
Yeah, it's fun.
And how many years have you been doing this now?
The band?
Yeah.
Or Thunder King? The band's been
band.
10 years, man.
10 years.
The band's been 10 years. And, you know, we always say it's, you know, kind of like a softball league, but it's cool. So that's like our hobby. But, you know, it actually now with merch and, you know, online stuff, it actually makes money. So it's like, all right, we get to do this and that's fun. And, you know, it's kind of a no nonsense thing. So we really enjoy that.
So you're doing a new album or like going on tour?
Yeah, we're recording in the spring and then we'll tour a little bit. And I guess we have some one-off like metal festival dates. I have no idea. Ooh. I'm just learning about it now. So this is supposed to be supposedly the starting up again. It's all a big machine now. So kind of along for the ride, but it's nice. It's nice.
But you got to also, you know, now you got to figure out how to keep the business running on the side when you're on the road.
Right.
You know, you also got to deal with not being home, you know, with the family.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I don't think there'll be that much, you know.
Touring?
No, not like, and out of respect to everyone who does that as their actual job, like, no way, man.
Yeah, y'all are crazy.
You're not going to step on those toes. Like those are the lifers that you know, we're lifers for metal, but definitely, I don't know if we all have real jobs and, you know,
right.
So we have to respect that.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, that was our situation too in our old band. It was, you know, we were around for 10 years too, but it got to the point where, I mean, I lost a shit ton of money. The band wasn't really generating a lot of money. I mean, we would do good at shows when we would play shows and we would open up for bigger bands and whatnot. But after a while, I was like, well, my bass player was like, I got this crazy opportunity. I got to go get it for money.
Right.
And I'm like, go do it. And then, you know, little by little, everybody started leaving. We were all in Miami. My bass player moved to Seattle, I believe, at first. And then my drummer moved to Colorado. And then I left to California. I'm like, well, fuck it. Right. We're all over the place now.
Well, I think that's what, you know, people forget. And after listening to, like, your show and, like, you know, you hear everyone's perspective is a lot of, and maybe the younger generation or just the, you know, normal people in the world don't realize that, like, when you're in a band, that's your job, just like owning a business, and you have to do your job all the time. So if you're going to go on tour, you're going to go out and maybe you'll play to 5 people, whatever, but it's your job to go out and make that business work.
Right.
So, you know, for us, it's promotions as a company, but for the band, it's going out and playing. So, you know, there's people that have put in the time and they grind and they grind and they grind. And, you know, you might not like, I don't know, industrial deathcore, but somebody does.
Right.
You know, and thankfully with the internet, you know, it connects everybody. And, like, I mean, look at the show we went to the other night. You know, it opened with an experimental guitar guy with, like, subsonic sounds that was kind of mind-blowing. Yeah. And then it was like a thrash metal band from Philly.
Yep.
Who those guys had, Bloodspore was their name. They had never been to the West Coast in their lives. So they were just in heaven out here. And then it was an experimental saxophone player.
I had to walk out on that one. I had a panic attack.
Vibe.
I had a panic attack.
A saxophone player with a looper pedal.
Dude.
It's definitely not my jam.
Yeah.
And then Sumac, you know, which is, you know, experimental hardcore, and it's like, you know, definitely crushing and then definitely abstract wildness, you know. So there's something out there for everyone. But
yeah, I mean, well, I asked a bunch of people to go to this show with me, and nobody wanted to bite. They were like, "Nah, it's too heavy." I'm like, "Come on, what do you mean too heavy? Get out of here, people!" A bunch of softies out here in LA. I got to tell you.
I don't know. I was too heavy. I don't know who would. I've never heard that.
It's so weird.
Is there Too Heavy a band out there?
Yeah, I guess. Apparently, for some people. For me, I mean, it doesn't exist. I was actually feeling terrible right before Sumac went on. I maybe smoked too much weed and walked into that saxophone.
That's fair. Yeah.
I walked into that saxophone. I had a straight up panic attack. Walked outside. I had to like control my breathing. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And then I get inside and I was feeling nauseous. I'm like, I might just leave. And then Sumac came on and started playing, and immediately everything went away. All of the nausea, the dizziness, the nausea, the panic, it went away. I was just kind of like mesmerized by the heaviness of the band.
I don't know. Our organs were trying to hold themselves together from getting decimated.
The bass tone shaking was shaking my organs into place,
Yeah, Brian will rattle your insides, that's for sure.
It's so crazy. It's like, that's such a small venue for that setup. My God. So you're in the band, you play bass, right?
I play bass, yeah. Play bass.
So, I mean...
I write everything, the music, and then and with the guys, and then I play bass.
Sweet.
But that's who... Brian Cook is who I like. I play a grabber. Because I was always like, oh, that's cool, and it sounds cool. So I play grabber. I play it through a 70s SVT head,
nice.
All analog, and it's a lot of fuzz and a lot of heavy.
It makes a difference, man. People don't listen. Like these younger bands are like, oh, I'll do it all on my laptop. Like, it's not the same. It's not the same. It's getting close, man, but not the same.
You can do. I mean, I think Mick Fleetwood, the Fleetwood Mac drummer,
yeah,
he said like we live in an age where you can do anything like by yourself, the new way. Like you can record an album by yourself, but like
right.
Sometimes the old ways are, better.
Yeah, man. I don't like doing solo stuff. I've tried. I have a couple tracks that I did on my own, but it's such a pain in the ass. Like I work better just being in a room with people and we just jam. Like
the vibe.
Yeah. I mean that's what got me into craft beer was that being in a band and then touring and finding these beers. But then like that became our band practice was like everybody bring something cool.
Tasting?
Yeah. We're gonna do a tasting while we practice.
Hey, do you know what? Next time we don't even need the instruments. Let's just
keep drinking.
Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
I get it. We've had some practices that have gone that way for sure. That's definitely a way.
It's rough, man. And you get into, especially when you're hitting the 10-year mark, when you're writing new stuff for this new album. Like, what are you doing to get yourself in that mindset to not rehash stuff that you've done in the past, or not rehash stuff that's being done in the scene? Because you got to kind of keep it fresh.
I think I'm a fan of music. Like I love music. I love, my friends' bands. I love, just music in general. I love introducing my kids to music, and I love hearing things. And I think I play music because I like having that feeling. I like feeling that wall of, thunder behind me or whatever. So like, I think that's just it. Like, you hear parts of something and you're like, I love the way that works. I mean, there's only 9 notes, right? So you got to make it all go somehow. But the dynamics and that's kind of, we're kind of a spookier band with some keys and heaviness, but we definitely, that's just it. Like, what's going to make us feel good? And we're all old enough to be like, we can do whatever we want to do now. Like we can afford to put out whatever we want. Like we don't need to like please anybody.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that freedom, and it's also the freedom of not having to think that this is your livelihood. Like if you don't put out a good 100%. Album, your life is over.
100%.
Yeah.
But I think that's what we were talking about earlier. Like, people are making albums the way they should. The guys write their music and they're going to tour. Like if you're an industrial, goth metal pop band, whatever. Like, just go do your thing. And like, that's what's so great about music. I think that's what's been so great about music forever, is like, just do it, man. Do it, and people are gonna think it's rad because you're doing it. Just like the saxophone guy. You didn't like the saxophone guy.
No, but there was a crowd there.
I didn't like the saxophone guy, but like, he's using it. I thought it was using it with a theremin to make like these crazy sounds. Like, and he would move it. It was like he was. I was like, I was mesmerized by that. But like, yeah, I definitely.
It just over sensory. It was over sensory for me, and I get it. That's cool, man. I've done acid and played around with a theremin before. I get it. It's cool. Don't worry about it. Keep doing your thing. I'm not judging.
Oh, that's really funny, man. But yeah, every day. Like, I always hate when somebody's like, I could have done that.
Right. Yeah. Then do it. Then do it.
But yeah, you didn't.
Yeah.
You didn't do it. So.
I always tell that to people that talk shit about like certain movies and TV shows and how they end. Like, people were bitching about Game of Thrones and how it ended, and I'm like, make a better one. Oh, you can't? Then shut the fuck up.
Like, I mean, Star Wars, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a Star Wars guy.
Yeah.
You're a Star Wars guy.
Yep.
I get it, man. You might not like certain things, but like...
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about it. Like, I'm not going to bitch about it on Facebook. Like, if I don't like it, I just didn't like it. I'm just going to move on. I'm not going to go to, why do you like it? Something's wrong with you for liking it. Like, no, it's just, I don't know. I've been loving all the newer stuff, like The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian's great. I liked Book of Boba Fett. People were bitching about it. I'm like, what do you expect?
Right.
It's Boba Fett. He had like 10 seconds of life, and now they made it a show. Like, it's more than we've ever gotten. Maybe it's not Shakespeare. Whatever. Fuck off.
Right. So that's Nick Gambarian from Bayside, from Legal Speed. So they're a coffee company that's close with us, and him and I have become friends. And one of his great quotes about this subject is like, do you even like what you like?
Or are you liking it because other people like it and you want to fit in?
Like, do you watch Star Wars things because you like it? So, and it equates to someone's album, like if Mastodon's going to put out an album that's geared a little more, this way, or than that, more than that way. It's like, do you like Mastodon?
Yeah.
Or do you just like that one album? Because I like Mastodon, and I'm going to buy tickets to their show, and I'm going to buy their shirts, and I'm going to do all this crap because I want those guys to make a living. It's a small part that I do, but so yeah. Do you like what you like? Because I like stuff, so I'm going to watch Star Wars. Maybe I didn't like the Spy Kids being in Star Wars in Boba Fett.
Were they really the Spy Kids, or they were just calling them that? Was it the same actors?
No, they were really bright colors. And
I did, the frickin' that cyborg thing. I was like, what is this, Star Trek? What's going on here?
I mean, look, do you even like what you like? That is like and I try to think that too, where I'm like, oh yeah, just relax, man.
Yeah, and I've also, as I've gotten older, like when I don't like something, I just let it go instead of making a fuss.
Or walk out.
Yeah, walk out. You don't like it? Walk out. I'm good. Thank you. Like with the new Batman movie, and I might catch some heat for this one, but I'm not interested. I don't care. I'm not gonna go see it. Stop telling me to go see it.
So I have been 100% don't care about it.
Okay.
But everyone that's seen it has been saying it's pretty impressive.
I know. I hear it's the definitive Batman. I'm like, great. I still don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't like any of the casting whatsoever. Not just Pattinson. Everybody thinks like I hate him because he's Twilight. Like, yes, that is true, but that is just one of the many reasons I don't give a shit about that. Like, it doesn't. I don't watch Batman to watch Seven. You know what I mean? I'm watching a superhero movie.
Right.
And I grew up with Batman 66. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking Adam West.
Yeah.
Underwear. So I don't, when it got darker with Michael Keaton, I was like, oh, that's cool. And then it got more realistic with, it just kept evolving. And it's just, how many more times do we need to make it darker and grittier? Like, just stop.
No, I get it. Well, I just saw a funny meme that was like me at 9 seeing the dark, gritty, Joel Schumacher Batmans. And then me at 18, 20 seeing the darker, grittier Christian Bale Batmans, and now this is supposed to be darker and grittier. Like, that's just Batman, man. It's just not underwear Batman, which I get.
Yeah, but again, I'm happy for those who are enjoying it. If you're enjoying it, you like the movie, great. Fucking buy a shirt, buy the movie when it comes out on DVD or Blu-ray, whatever. Yeah. Pre-order everything. Support the stuff you like, instead of just talking shit or complaining to people on Twitter that have the opposite point of view than you.
People, but I think that's what people want, man. People want to go after it with each other, keyboard warriors,
But that's okay. I get it, but it is a problem.
Of course,
people complaining like, "Oh, the world's falling apart. Everything's so crazy." Well, because you're all a bunch of assholes. Like, stop.
That's a huge lesson I've taught my kids who are like 13 and 7. Is like, some people are dicks.
Yeah,
like you're gonna have to deal with it out there, man.
Yeah,
it's a rough world.
I interact with as many people as I can. Maybe that's a flaw of mine. I like people, so I try to befriend everyone I meet. And sometimes, the dicks, it comes off aggressive, I guess, to them or whatever. But all I'm going to do is just, all right, man, bye, and just move along. Like, I don't understand why this is like a cool thing to be a troll, like an internet troll. Like, I've never understood how being a dick is cool. But, and we got 4 years of a dick who thought he was cool, so.
Yeah, I get it, man.
Moving away from politics.
That was funny. No, whatever.
Let's talk more politics, but Star Wars politics. I'm kidding.
Oh, let's do
it. Did you see the Obi-Wan? What do you think?
I did. I kind of I watched it a bunch of times, a lot of times. I really like it.
Okay.
I'm in. And I liked that they were like, hey, there's going to be 6 episodes. That's it. That's all.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Take what you get,
Take what you get. I like that. I think it's going to be good.
It looks good. I got goosebumps the second I heard the
Duel of the Fates.
Oh my God.
Dude. Me too.
That's all I needed. I will say I think I see Han Solo's blaster.
Where?
There's a scene where there's somebody on this side, like facing the camera, and then there's a blaster silhouette.
I saw that. I didn't know if it was Han's.
It kind of looks like Han's.
Kind of does. And I think that's the same time. And if you had 8 people listening to this, they're definitely tuning out now. But I think that's either Obi-Wan's blaster, right?
Okay.
Like, because he was like, oh, it's uncivilized, and he's not supposed to show he's a Jedi. Right? So he's like, now I've got this primitive caca, right? Or it's Woody Harrelson who gave it to Han. Remember that in Solo? Because I think Solo happens around this same time.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, could it be a cameo from that young Solo guy? Like, he comes back for that.
Solo guy in general. But yeah, you're right, man. Who knows? It seems like that's a huge. In the one, what is it? A minute and a half. That trailer was short. Yeah. That would be a huge
reveal
or a huge teaser when like you didn't even show Darth Vader.
Right, and they did for Entertainment Weekly.
Yeah,
The magazine got the shots of Vader, and I'm like, we should have put him in the trailer.
But maybe you don't need to.
You could have held off on the Inquisitor. I don't know. I think
that's good.
I like the Inquisitor. I'm a little iffy on how chunky he is, but I'll let it ride. He had a pandemic, so.
But it's not. He had a rough
pandemic.
Oreos during the pandemic.
He put the COVID-19 on.
Yeah. No, but I think that it's not the same guy as the cartoons, right? That's Malfoy's dad.
I think it's him. I think it's the Grand Inquisitor. The girl's an Inquisitor. The girl's an. Oh no, it's not. It's not the same actor.
Right.
Yeah, it's not the same actor. It's the same character. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I think he's a little chunkier, but that's fine. He's a cool character. I like his lightsaber with the circular handle thing and it spins.
Oh. So during the pandemic, I stopped paying myself from Thunder King. My business partner stopped paying himself from Thunder King, and we kept our guys working, our employees and our team. And one of the things that I did with my sons was all these helmets up here. We started RDT3 Creative, which is basically like we make helmets and Star Wars gear and sell it. So when there's a lightsaber like that, like that's the first thing in my head of like, oh,
new content, new merch.
I want to make that somehow, but like,
yeah, hey, I mean,
right.
we're getting close. I saw somebody made a lightsaber, a realistic looking lightsaber.
Dude. Was that on that YouTube thing? Where yeah, dude. That's like a industrial shop. Of course, they made like a Ripley's robot thing too. Like
they did that. They did the Iron Man like blaster hand or something.
Yeah, no,
it's insane.
We have a 3D printer and we make things look like they're weathered, and it's fun.
I love it. I mean, are you guys doing conventions? And well, first of all, what does RDT3 stand for? Is that just kind of like a R2D2 code?
No, I'm my first name is Rexford. I'm Rexford Dean Tompkins, and my son's Rexford Daniel, and the other one's Rockwell. So like we're all that. And then that was it. But yeah, that was born out of the pandemic side hustles.
Okay. I mean, it kind of works also as like an R2D2 droid number.
Yeah. And so when I was doing the labels for Mason Ale Works, if you look out there, even now, some of those beers say designed by RDT3 Creative and things like that. So I know there was a Star Wars one. There was a You're My Only Hope. It was like R2D2 and a fire hydrant, like falling in love.
I don't know if I saw that. Oh, wait, no, I did see that. I did see that one. Yes.
Yeah.
I did see that
I
one.
did that. I did the...
Nice. Okay.
I didn't do the painting, but I did everything else.
Very cool. Do you do conventions and stuff? Have you gone and done like you should, man? There's some good money in that.
I know, but I'd rather make something for someone, like someone that's like, hey, I want a gold Boba Fett helmet. And it's like, okay, I'll make that. Like, it's just a little more custom as opposed to like, well, when the show started, we cranked out like, 20 helmets or whatever, just so they were ready, like of various, various designs of Boba Fett, like whether it's Empire or Jedi or the new stuff, and kind of sold those. But otherwise, I don't have the time now that Thunder King is kind of back up and running and full speed ahead. I just don't have the time.
Yeah. I mean, I think it would be cool to do it, if you do it like some of these places like Designer Con, where they don't even really just mass sell the items. It's more of like a museum, Right. And here are the ones that we have, and then if you want a custom one, you can hit us up, and we'll hit you up after the convention, you know what I mean? But
it's a good idea.
I think it's just money. It's money. Dude, these people that go to these conventions, they go because they have money. That's pretty much it.
That's true. And the quality of stuff, like we went to WonderCon a couple times, me and the boys, and it was just like people make great stuff, man. Like, it's impressive what people are doing. So it's kind of cool to see what's out there.
Yeah, I mean that's how I met Adam Jones from Tool. I just ran into him at Monsterpalooza. And it's just because he's a fan of like monster makeup and monster effects and whatever, because that's what he used to work on. But it's really cool to see those workshops at places like that. Like they do, makeup workshops and whatever. I don't know. I ever since I was young, I hated the convention thing. I always thought it was like a bunch of nerds, like, oh my God, like I'm a nerd, but like I'm not that nerdy, like and then my wife took me to my first one in Florida, and I was like, oh, I'm an idiot. This is heaven. Like, what am I doing?
I want to go to Monsterpalooza. When is that?
Oh, you've never been?
No.
Dude, it's I believe it's in Pasadena, if I'm not mistaken. And they do it close to Halloween time. Yeah. But it's really great. Like I met Doug Bradley, the Hellraiser dude there. Yeah. They do, a bunch of merch, people selling stuff, and then also just convention, stuff like panels and demonstrations, and everybody's walking around in crazy costumes, and
I want to go. I want to do that. Let's go.
Absolutely, I'll hit you
Or
up when it
just
happens.
You go and I'll go, and then we'll like hopefully see each other there. And
I'll pick you
remember-
up and we'll go. I'll pick you up in a bicycle and we'll bike to Pasadena.
Sure. Jesus.
Because the gas prices are too high.
Oh man.
Sorry, I
This
had
is
to be
a bit
topical.
rough. No, it's all right. It's rough right now.
Dude,
No.
look, so I've seen the pictures of the $7 gas, but in my neighborhood, it's not $7. It's like four something.
It's 6 here.
Really?
6 in Costa Mesa, yeah.
Well, it sucks. I have seen 6 and like high 5s, but I just avoid them because I'm like, I know where my gas is going to be for something. I'll get it there. I don't even know the name. It's like a dinosaur. I think it's Sinclair. Whatever. There's a taco truck in the parking lot. That's why I go there. It's amazing. They do
the taco truck and a fried chicken place. And oil changes, and
they use the same oil to change your car from the fried chicken.
It's like some down south stuff, man.
Yeah, no, the taco truck's great though. They do the legit, with the pineapple and the thing on fire and the handmade tortillas. Dude. Yeah. I'm spoiled.
I'm gonna come up.
Yeah, I'm so spoiled. I go there and they're like $1 something too, so I just order 6 of them. I'm a giant fat.
You're not a giant fat.
Man.
Now we'll go into motivational speaking.
Yes. Body positivity is very important. Mental health is very important. Do not put yourself down. No,
unless it's for comedy, and then it's okay.
All right. So
Yep.
So you got the band, you've got the coffee, you've got the creative company. Is there something else that you want to do? Like, and I'm not being sarcastic, but is there something else that's always piqued your interest that you just haven't been able to find, because of time or money to get into it?
No, I do. I've basically, if I'm going to get into something, like I'll try to get into something, but, besides that, I'm a part of we have a thing called I Heart Costa Mesa. It's a local community organization where when the pandemic happened, we kind of just trying to direct traffic towards local businesses. So
that's awesome.
It's cool. It helps, it helps our city. Like I'm a big fan of my city. I grew up here. So, doing that, like I'm full, dude. I have my family. I've got like good stuff. Like, in life, that's kind of all I've ever wanted was that fulfillment. So like, I'm good. All the other stuff is just, hey, this would be fun. Let's do it. And like, try stuff. I mean,
So I know you've collaborated with like Violent Gentlemen, and I know you're friends with them. So I just wondered like if you like clothing line ever, crossed your radar.
The clothes are cool, man, because everybody needs them. Kind of like coffee, everybody needs it. We do. Obviously, the Violent Gentlemen guys are awesome guys. They're the nicest dudes. They're so supportive of us, and we've done a bunch of collabs with them. And when I get shirts made and I know how much they cost, and then I see what you can sell shirts for, I'm like, oh, that's a really good idea. But like, also with the way the world is now with the internet and basically, buying people to pay attention to your stuff, like I don't understand that yet. Like even with Thunder King, like, we don't have like all the followers we have are people that want to see our stuff.
Right.
There's no point in having 15,000 people follow you if you get however many, 20 likes.
Yeah. So I don't understand how they get that to that point where like you have hundreds of thousands of people, waiting for your next drop. Like, how did you get to that point? Because I just found out about you. Right. And I'm online all the time. Like I do it for my show and to get my shit out there. And then I like, have you heard of Rucking Fountain? I'm like, what? And then I look it up and it's like, oh, that's a cool shirt. Like, yeah, they only drop it like once a month and like at midnight and like, I'm like, that sounds annoying.
Cool.
How is that so popular? Because that sounds annoying.
Right, but I want a shirt right now.
Yeah,
like, otherwise I'm not going to buy it. So I get it. Everybody's got their shtick, and I think it's. I treat it the same as like anybody's ever treated like their band, where they're like, look, man, we just need solid fans that are going to support us no matter what. So like, hey, with Thunder King, we just need to make good coffee all the time and get it out to people. And we got, we do stuff with Violent Gentlemen. we do stuff with Gunwhale right now. We're aging a bean with Blinking Owl. It's a spirit company. Have you heard of them?
Okay, no, I haven't heard of them.
They're in Santa Ana, and they have their own distillery. And dude, it's the most impressive, gorgeous distillery ever. I'll take you there.
Yeah, let's go.
We'll get you a tour. They're very cool. The owner guy was a drummer, like in the hardcore world from Salt Lake. So like,
nice.
We all speak the same language, and basically Max, the head brewer there, and I can just geek out, and we're gonna age a bean. So we'll have a bourbon aged bean with local bourbon. You know, it's like stuff like that. Like you just gotta build your base, build your fans, and stay active. You know, that was kind of when you let things lie dormant, nothing happens.
Exactly.
So I've learned my lesson there for sure.
Yeah, it's a solid balance though that you got to keep, man, because you got to, you know, the not having enough stuff going on because and becoming irrelevant, and then also having your plate full. I mean, you know, I'm glad that you're getting to that balance. I'm still trying to figure it out. But
also, don't be annoying.
That's the other thing. That's the other line that I have don't be annoying. Don't be a punisher, right?
Well,
don't be a punisher.
I've been known to be a punisher, man.
I'm sure there are circles of people that think I'm a giant punisher. That's it.
I mean, look, dude, you work for yourself here. Like, this is your thing, you know?
Yeah.
People don't understand that. They go back to your IT job and have a good time dealing with, you know, Susan that you can't stand in the next cubicle. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you're doing this and you're out here doing this. Anybody could, right? But they don't.
But they don't. Like, they usually hang out now they're hanging out under the bridge over here in
yeah. But like, you can ride with me or don't.
Right.
But like, I don't care. Like, I'm gonna do me, and I'm gonna do this thing. So it's good, man. You've really done really well for yourself.
Oh, thanks, dude.
I really enjoy listening to this show. It's an honor to be on it. So thank you.
Oh, I just got a notification that we're doing our podcast.
At 1 o'clock.
Right now at 1 o'clock. Dude, I mean, you're killing it with what you're doing as well. I mean, you're everywhere too. Like that's one of those things. Like you're always busy, and still, yet I see you at a bunch of shows. You know, I see you around doing things.
You know, I will say, my wife is incredibly understanding with how much I love music and how much of a fan I am of all these things. So, I mean, I wasn't going to drive up to LA the other night because it cost me $700 in gasoline. But she's like, you know, you should go see your friend. And I was like, oh, yeah, you're right. I should. So I got to go visit Brian and see you and see everybody. And that was good. So.
Well, you didn't really see him. You saw me, but from a distance.
Saw you. I was watching you.
So I was going to say something. Yes, let's go to that distillery, man. Let's go. I want to talk about rum with them.
So they make bourbon. I think they make a rum. They make aqua V. They make gin. They make vodka.
Ooh.
I want to say it's $1 million, like, still, like, from Germany it's insane. Like, you've been to breweries.
Yeah.
Breweries are real cool. And once you've seen one brewery,
you've seen them all.
Seen a brewery.
I mean, I would say there's two different kinds. There's the small breweries, and then there's like the Sierra Nevadas of the world where you walk in and it's like, this is something else.
Like a Brewery X, where it's like just these massive stainless, like, it's huge.
I went to Chicago to see Goose Island, I think it was, and their shit was like, it was a building. Like the tanks were buildings.
Oh,
and I'm just like, what the hell is this? They're like, I'm like, like 500,000 gallons of beer being made on a daily basis. I'm like, what the?
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, it's Budweiser. You know, what do you?
Yeah, that's true. They bought them right.
Yeah.
No, it's just like a brewery, but just a little different. So,
I've been to distilleries.
Yeah.
I just, you know, they're usually pretty small. There was one here in downtown LA that I went to that they were like, everything's handcrafted. It was nice, but, you know, very small operation. I haven't seen them anywhere else since I saw them. You have to go there to buy their stuff because they don't sell them in the markets or whatever.
See, very niche.
Very niche, yes.
Very niche.
But I want to do a rum with Cuban sugar canes so that there is a rum like that in France called Rum Agricole.
Okay.
Which is, it's weird because it's, the rum you buy like Sailor Jerry or whatever, it's all very sweet and kind of sugary, molassesy kind of thing. This Rum Agricole thing, it's done with sugarcane and it's clear and it just tastes grassy. It's different. That's what I like about it because it's a different taste.
Well, I'll tell you what, those guys, we'll talk to Max at Blinking Owl and he will tell you, like, because they do custom stuff for people too, I think. Like, you're like, oh, I just want 1 barrel, maybe a couple of cases. I mean, money talks. I'm sure we can talk our way into that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think it'd be cool. And then,
massage our way.
Massaging. Not punish, but just massage.
Not punish.
Soft massage, no elbows, no, none of that deep tissue shit that you get.
Oh, dude, I can't do that.
It hurts too much?
I just get hurt. I'm old, man. Just be nice to me. That's all I want. Just be nice to me.
I have that weird, like, I'm not a masochist. I'm not into that at all. I'm into my other stuff. I'm not going to get into it.
Sure. A whole other podcast, buddy.
That's a whole other podcast. I'm not into receiving pain.
Sure.
But I do like martial arts and I like wrestling and I like, moshing and
Sure.
So when I do get a deep tissue massage, it hurts, but I'm like, yeah, keep going.
I'm scared of that.
Yeah, it's rough. Like, I mean, if I don't like the neck snapping that I'm scared of. That freaks me out.
I just got into that. I just got into having a chiropractor.
Oh no.
And I love it, dude. I love it. It's changed. I used to get crazy headaches and it has changed my whole situation. So it's good.
I like it. It's just it's one of those things that you have to keep doing it. If you ever stop going now, then it's going to come back. Yeah,
it's like Rogaine. Once you start, man.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
I could probably get in on that soon, but I probably won't. I'll just let it go.
Oh wait, you also do hair?
Before all this, I'm a hairdresser. That's kind of has allotted me all the freedom to do other things because you can make your own schedule. But
I forgot about that because I don't have hair, so I never think about any hair stylings.
Yeah, I barely do it anymore. Just neighbors and friends and stuff. But
okay,
lots of irons in the fire, man.
Did you go to school for that at all?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I went and my first day of hair school was September 11th, 2001. So.
9/11?
That was it. That was the day I started hair school. So, we showed up and we were like,
oops.
Okay. And that was it. Then I did hair for a long time. And that's how I, having friends in music at the time, whenever someone was in town, they need a haircut. Hey, go to haircuts. And so a lot of these relationships I have kind of developed over that. Now it's like, hey, I'll send you coffee. Like, we just try to. That's how you stay in touch with people. Try to support everyone who's out there actually doing the thing and touring and stuff like that.
Absolutely, man. Well, tell people what's the best way to get all of the things you have going on, because I mean, I could do Wizard Killer has all of the stuff, but that's your personal.
No, go to thunderkingbrewing.com. That's the main thing. Like, we're a coffee company and we make coffee and try our stuff out. RDT3 Creative on Instagram is the geeky costume stuff for everybody. But yeah.
And the band,
The band is Mammoth Thunderpower. Like, that's us. So mammoththunderpower.com is all the merch, stuff like that. And then just at Mammoth Thunderpower on
Instagrams and all the
things. And things like that. So, which, like I said, all that's coming back around now and it'll be quite fun.
Yeah, and I'm excited to try that cream ale when it happens.
The cream ale comes out, I think April 2nd at Gunwhale. We're gonna have a
and that's in
event.
Costa.
It's in Costa Mesa. Yeah, it's Gunwhale Ales.
Okay,
and it is in Costa Mesa. We're gonna have a competition barbecue company there doing barbecue, and I mean, dude, you're gonna be there.
Yeah, I mean, when is it? April 2nd.
April 2nd. It's a Saturday.
I'm in New York City.
You're going to be there in spirit.
I'm going to be there in spirit, but I want to go earlier and get like barbecue.
Well, I can. Those guys actually live around. I know. I'll get you their barbecue. Don't worry about that. They're good guys, and we'll save you some beer for sure.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I got invited out there by Stoke the Fire. Jesse Leach from Killswitch has a podcast.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And they're doing their first ever live version of it with Matt Stocks. And
Nice.
he hit me up. He's like, "You want to come out?" I'm like, just to watch it? And he's like, "No, you'd be a part of it." I'm like, "Oh, then yeah, absolutely. I'm on my way."
Hey, man, do you want to come to New York to watch me talk to someone?
Yeah. I was like, "No, I don't know about that, dude. I love you guys." But then when they're like, be a part of the show, I'm like, "Oh, for sure. 100% I'm there." I mean, the tickets are dirt cheap right now because of the pandemic. I think it was like $150 round trip to New York.
Dude, that's nothing.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, that's good. But yeah. I figure I have family there, so I'm just going to stay with them. But anyway, I'm turning this about me.
No, it's your podcast. It's all right.
No. But yes, I want to be there, but everyone that's watching and listening should be at Gunwhale.
Come to Gunwhale, man. It's going to be a cool party. It's going to be a cool thing. And their beer, so they, they have a lot of great beers. And the way they make their beer is obviously similar to other people's, but they just got a cool vibe and they make cool stuff, and it's not wacky, like weird offshoot. They very much keep things in a certain lane, and I really like that. So
cool.
Come down and try out some beer.
Yes, everyone go there and follow all the things, man. Support independent artists, creatives, brewers.
And support the bands that you like. You know what I mean? Like, hey, man, maybe you're not into that new album, but like, go buy some crap online. Like, these people's lives depend on it, and the last couple of years have been rough for everybody. So go like what you like.
Yeah, go support, pay money. I could have. Brian Cook of Sumac was on the show this week when we went to the show. I did not hit him up for a ticket.
No.
Or Aaron. Don't. Go support. They need it. They need your help.
Unless it's sold out, and then ask for that guest.
Well, yeah, then if it's sold out, I do.
They're doing okay.
Yeah, if it sells out, that's different. Yeah. But
that's just it. Remember the way that these bands made you feel, and like, go buy some of their stuff. These guys, everybody needs it. Like, and that's small business. Like, that's supporting small business. You can buy stuff from Amazon, whatever, but don't forget to buy like the bands you like. That's important in my life. Yeah. And I think for yours too.
Absolutely, man. Well, dude, thank you so much. Thank you not just for doing the show, but thank you for, like I said, years of supporting the show.
No problem. Thank you, man. Thanks for having me. This is really cool. And
of course.
I know, I'm not in Mastodon, but it is cool to be here.
You're not in Mastodon, you're in Mammoth Thunder. That's Thunderpower. Thunderpower.
Yeah.
So no, it's the same. It's the same thing. Prehistoric.
Prehistoric, all that.
No, but dude, thanks a lot again. Like I said, you've been great, and we'll hang out soon.
All right, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Later.